So today we are going to discuss about how to create a table in MySQL. A database is nothing but a collection of tables. So to create a database, first and foremost, we have to create some tables. For creating a table, we have to follow the syntax. So the syntax is given below. So we have to use the create table statement is used to create a new table in a database. So the create table is the statement which is required for creating a table. The syntax is given below. So we have to use the keyword create followed by the keyword table followed by the table name of our choice, and then we have to mention the list of columns or attributes that are to be present in the table in parentheses. So open parenthesis and closed parenthesis is here, and in between those open and closed parentheses we have to mention the list of column names as well as the data type also we have to mention separated by comma. So that is what is mentioned in the syntax here. So create table name, open parenthesis, column 1 data type comma, column 2 data type comma, column 3 data type comma. Like that you can give n number of columns along with the data type separated by comma. Finally close the parenthesis followed by semicolon. So this is the basic syntax of creating a table in MySQL. Then the column parameters specify the names of the columns of the table. The column parameters, whatever we have just now mentioned, they represent the names of the columns of the table. So that means in our table, so what are the columns that will be present? Those columns only you have to mention in between the parentheses. The data type parameter specifies the type of the data and the column can hold. So the data type, what we have written here in the IL after the column 1, column 2 and column 3 will specify what is the nature of the data that will be stored in that column. So what type of data we are going to store, whether it is an integer data type, whether it is a character data type, whether it is a date data type, what type of data you are going to store in that column, that is mentioned in the data type. So you have to mention the name of the column followed by its data type separated by comma. So this is the syntax of creating a table in MySQL. Then, so let us see one example of how to create a table in your MySQL. So create table example. So you can see that in the syntax, again the syntax what we have seen in the previous slide is also written. But only thing is that we are writing the column names and the data type also here. So create keyword, table keyword, and those two are keywords. So there is no choice. We have to use those words only. And then employee is the name of the table what I want to create. So it is my choice. I can give any name, employee or EMP 123, any names of my choice. And as we mentioned earlier, so whatever columns or attributes I want to create for that employee table, those has to be mentioned within the parenthesis. So we are opening the parenthesis and then we are mentioning the list of the columns along with their data types. The first column what we have chosen here is employee ID, and its data type is int. Int signifies that we are going to store integer values for employee ID. And then EMP name is the name of the second column and its data type is varchar, means that we are going to store string values, means collection of characters into the employee name column or employee name field. So, and the 25 signifies that maximum size allowed for employee name is 25 characters. Then another column or attribute is employee address, in which we can store the address of up to maximum of 25 characters again. Its data type is also varchar, means that string characters, followed by city of the employee. So again, the data type is varchar and maximum size 25 characters. So as we mentioned in the previous slide, we can also use the birth date of the employee as another column for which we can give date as the data type also we can give. That is also fine. We will close the parenthesis followed by semicolon. So this is the syntax that is used or required for creating a table called employee with those four attributes along with their data types in your MySQL. So that same thing is explained here. The EMP ID column is the type of integer and it will hold an integer value. EMP name, EMP address and city columns are of the type varchar and it will hold the characters, and maximum length of these fields is 25 characters only. And then And one more command that is used to drop a table. The command to drop a table from your database is the drop table name. So we have created the table employee, and if you want to remove the table from the database or delete the table from the database, then we have to use a command called as a drop table command for removing a table from the database. We know that database is nothing but a collection of tables. If at all you want to remove one table from your database, then you have to use the command called as drop table command. And then after drop table, you have to mention the name of the table you want to delete from your database. Remember that your database will contain a lot of tables. Say for example, 15 tables are there. Out of 15 tables, which table you want to remove? That table name you have to mention followed by semicolon. Then automatically that table will be deleted, and so along with the data also from your database. Okay, so for example, if you want to remove the employee table from your database, then the syntax would be drop table employee semicolon. Then you have to execute this command. Automatically the table employee what we have just now created will be removed from the database. Okay, let us try to see execute this in an SQL editor, MySQL editor. So this is an editor in which we can execute this MySQL commands. Let us try to create one table called as an employee. So create a table keyword is there, employee is already there. So and then open parentheses and closing parentheses are there. So I am removing some extra words, primary key, not null. So those will be explained in another session. So I'm just writing employee ID here, and then so I can change the name also to simply, and so I will call it as EID simply, and then integer. I can use either int or integ, or in both are fine. And then name I can use either text or varchar, both are fine. So I'm removing this not null and not null, what is not null, etc. We will learn in another session. And so I'm just removing that, and remember that all the columns must be separated by comma. That's mandatory, that's a part of the syntax. And so and then name I'm making it as ename, implies that employee name, ename implies that employee name. And then again text is the data type. You go for string also, both are fine. And then and then department, so I'm calling it as E department, so means employee department. So that is also given it as text. I'm changing it to varchar. I'm changing it to varchar. Varchar. I'm giving the size as 26. Okay. Finally, we have to close the parenthesis followed by semicolon. Now, I'm trying to create a table called as an employee with three attributes. The first attribute is employee ID, whose data type is integer. Second attribute is ename, whose data type is text. Then third data type is EDEPT, whose data type is varchar of size 26. So to execute this command, we have to click on the run button here. So if I click this one, it will show you whether the table was created successfully or not. If there is any syntactic error, automatically it will tell you that there are some syntactic errors are there. Let us wait until it displays the message. Okay, right. So this is and this output is saying that program did not output anything. Yeah, because we are asking it to create a table only, no, nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. Okay. So now let us try to check whether this table was created really or not. For that, we can use one command to check whether the table is created or not. And so select star from employee semicolon, and then run this one. So currently the table is empty, so it is table is empty, so it is not giving you any output unless and until you enter some values into the table. It cannot display any of your output. So this is the way of creating the table in your MySQL. Okay, say for example, I will enter one I will enter one row here into this table, insert into employee values. I'm giving the employee number as 12, and then employee name as Satish, comma, employee department as IT department. Okay, semicolon, right? So I want to execute this command. Okay, so we have executed this command. Now let us check whether this row was created successfully or not. Again, I'm executing this command, select star from employee. Execute this command. Yeah, now you can see that employee ID is 12, what we have given, employee name is Satish, what we have given, and D department is IT department. So what does it indicate? It indicates that the table was inserted with one row successfully. So the syntax for inserting and so the syntax for retrieving the data using select statement, that we can learn in another session. But we are able to, what we can conclude is that we are able to create a table successfully, and and then we are able to check whether the table was created successfully or not. And so that's it for this session. In another session we are going to learn about how to insert the data and so manipulate the data. Thank you.